Hello everyone, my name is TARDISgirl and welcome to my channel. This is probably going to be quite a long video because it was quite a long trailer, much longer than I expected it to be. I should warn you now, I realised I was getting into a few spoilers in the review section, so just in case you haven't read the books, you might as well back out now. I'm not holding anything back.
Gentlemen, there is a war raging right now with the Magisterium, between those trying to keep us in ignorance and those willing to fight for truth and freedom. Who will stand with me?
Okay, looks like those opening words, that is Lord Asriel addressing the Master and the scholars in the retiring room at Jordan. And what's very interesting here is it looks like they've lifted some of the lines from the second book in the series, the lines spoken by John Parry, and they've just transplanted them straight into the first episode of the first season. That is some wicked attention to detail, and it's also foreshadowing for the second season. The lines in question are, there are two great powers and they've been fighting since time began. Every advance in human life, every scrap of knowledge and wisdom and decency has been torn from one side by the teeth of the other. Every little increase in human freedom has been fought over ferociously by those who want us to be wiser and stronger, and those who want us to obey and be humble and submit.
This kind of heresy is of the highest priority to the Magisterium. I need to know where he's going and what he intends to achieve.
Right, the next sequence looks like it's between the Magisterium. We have Lord Boreal on the one side. Thank you for pointing him out to me in the last episode. And I'm guessing that actor is going to be Father MacPhail, introduced 2 series early. And well, seeing as he's one of the greatest villains ever created, up there with Judge Claude Frollo and Cardinal Richelieu as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty happy he's getting the star treatment from day one.
Your uncle's packing up to leave.
You're not leaving!
I can't stay! The North is no place for a child.
Obviously we have a tenuous scene between Lyra and her uncle as they explore the difficult relationship that they have together. And the first thing I noticed, Daphne Keen's accent is about as polar opposite from Laura's Spanish in Logan as it could possibly be. She is speaking with the plummiest British accent I've ever heard, and she is just adorable. And of course James McAvoy is always a favourite.
Lyra, the Master has asked if I can find a place for you. And I want you as my assistant.
You're an explorer too, just like my uncle.
I can teach you to wield power, but you must let me mold you.
We're introduced to Lyra's mother, Marisa Coulter, and we start to see some of the influence that she has on Lyra. Lyra is entranced by her new life of luxury, but as time goes on, she begins to realise Mrs. Coulter's manipulation and the fact that she's basically grooming her, and that leads to quite a difficult moment between the two of them.
We believe there is an organization that is stealing children and taking them north.
Sometimes children can just disappear.
We have another look at Bolvangar, not much that we haven't seen before, but another look at the demon cages and the guillotine, one of my least favourite moments from the entire book. But they haven't explained how Marisa Coulter is so deeply connected to the ablation board yet. They'll probably leave that to the TV show actually.
I promised to do everything I could to protect you from harm. This, it's an alethiometer. It is illegal unless approved by the Magisterium.
What does it do?
It tells you the truth.
We have our introduction to the alethiometer, and side by side a little comparison with the Magisterium, which becomes really important in book 2 and 3. And also what's interesting is we have our first look at the symbology of the Magisterium. I'm drawing so many parallels with Gilead, just theocratical dictatorial organisations looming large over the massive populace. I'm really interested to see how they portray this, because theocratic is always going to be stepping on some people's toes considering it's religion they're dealing with.
She has to make a journey. One which I'm afraid includes a great betrayal.
A few little key points there. Number 1, the allusion to the prophecy we find out later in the book from Martin Lanselius. The witch's prophecy that Lyra will take on the role of Eve and bring about the downfall of the world. Or at least, that's how the Magisterium interpret it. We also have a nod to Lord Boreal's demon being a snake, which was very interesting considering the previous shot in the last trailer. And finally, we have that important scene between Lyra and Mrs. Coulter where Lyra fully realizes what Mrs. Coulter is capable of. And even from the trailers, Ruth Wilson is selling it perfectly. That half grimace, half smile on her face while she's torturing Lyra is truly chilling.
Trying to warn me of something.
I suspect it's trying to warn you of everything.
Lee Scoresby. I can fight. I can fly.
A few more nods to Lyra's past as we see her climbing on the roofs of Jordan. It's little details like this that make me so happy that they're making this into a TV series, because there was hardly enough time to expand on this in the film. And also we get our first look at John Farr, one of my favourite characters from the book. And of course, Lee Scoresby, played by the amazing Lin-Manuel Miranda. And our first look at Hester as well. Hester is just one of my favourite... Screw it, they're all my favourite characters. I love them all so much. Especially the Mulefa. I can't wait until season 3 and we get to meet the Mulefa. But Lynn is really selling it as Lee Scoresby. It seems that Sam Elliott in the film was playing a very stereotypical gunslinger kind of character. We hardly ever see anything from Lee Scoresby in the film, so just that one little bar brawl has told me more about the character from the TV show than the film managed to do.
What question should we be asking you that we are not?
The Magisterium have muscle. I would ask where I could obtain the services of an armoured bear.
We have a few shots of the Magisterium mobilising. One criticism I do have of this show is the fact they seem to have updated and modernised quite a lot of the technology. I know that rifles don't sound very threatening when compared to automatic machine guns, but when compared to warriors like the witches and the Swiss Guard in the books, I kind of wish they'd stuck with the old-fashioned weapons instead of updating them. It just takes out a little bit of the world building. Oh well.
Yorick Bernison. I'm ready to fight.
These people need our help, Yorick. Let's go give it.
But speaking of warriors, we have our introduction to the armoured bear, Yorick Bernison, and a quick nod to Martin Lanselius as well, another great character that the film skipped over, unfortunately. And Yorick's armour, oh my god. One thing I think the film did is that it didn't quite get the look of the armour. I mean, it did look rustic, but it was a little bit too decorative for my taste. Because Yorick's armour is meant to be rustic, it's meant to be battle-torn, it's meant to look like it's just been hammered together from random bits of metal. And the TV show is capturing that amazingly. I love the design of the helmet. It's almost like a walnut or like an insect carapace. There's just something so organic about it. So much detail to pick through here, so let's just do it frame by frame.
How am I supposed to trust you when no one tells me the
Lyra's escape from Bolvanger, Yorick Bernison's escape from Trollesund, and one of my favourite scenes, when Lyra first showcases her control over someone as powerful as Yorick Bernison by giving him the command not to kill the guard. Love that scene.
It's time.
I know.
And of course, they're giving us the ending the film so kindly cut out. Now we finally get Lord Asriel and his mission to open the barrier between the worlds. Okay, the demon cages, the Magisterium, the spy fly, and title card. If I had high hopes before, my expectations are currently reaching to Mars and back with this TV show. Just everything on my list, everything, well, not nearly everything, I guess I'll have to do another video on that, has been checked off. We have even tiny characters like Martin Lanselius and Adele Starminster. They're all in there. It's astonishing how accurate to the book they seem to be already, and this is just giving me so much hope for this adaptation. This book means so much to me, and to see it finally represented in a TV show like this. So that was my very gushy review. I guess we'll have to wait and see until the first episode if they hold true to all of my expectations, but I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel down below if you want to see more, because I will definitely be reviewing this episode by episode, and I shall see you all soon. Bye! Either way you slice it, the lighting's not going to be good from any angle. And the microwave goes off. Timing! Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And pray that my camera battery doesn't run out. No, headphones. I need the headphones. I need the headphones. Next we're introduced to Marisa Coulter, Lyra's... Well, I won't say Lyra's... Oh, fuck it. Lyra's mother. We're introduced to Lyra's mother, Marisa Coulter. Damn it, I should have said there were spoilers ahead. Oh well.